Hi guys, let's look at the best 25 football boots Adidas had to offer in 2019. Please smash that like button and subscribe, that would be amazing. Let's go. 25, now we are talking about the Archaic Pack Nemeziz 18 Plus. Now this was released in January this year. It's the previous generation of Nemeziz. We also saw a new generation of Nemeziz dropped as well. The second generation Nemeziz, the 18 Plus, wasn't that great. That collar there is probably a little bit too high and not loved by everyone, but overall we're talking about the design of this boot. Black, blue and red on that sole plate, a very nice gradient design. Those three stripes have that sort of blue iridescent touch, and the bandage system has a red and black weaving design. I really like this black colorway for the Nemeziz. 24, we are talking about the Hardwide Predator 19 Plus. Now this pack was explosive, it had lots of bright colors, and for this pack the Predator was blue. Now blue is not a very common Predator color, but I actually think it works on this silo. A sort of sky blue with that black on the three stripes and on the collar there with that chrome blue sole plate. I really think this boot works. If you like blue boots and you like a bit of black as well, this is the boot for you. It came out in July this year as part of the Hardwide pack, number 24 on this list. 23, we are looking at the Encryption Pack Nemeziz 19 Plus, released in October of 2019. Now this colorway is more understated, it has orange on those three stripes on the heel and mostly grey on the sole plate and grey on most of the boot. It has this sort of concrete design. I really like the design. It's quite understated. That collar there is in a sort of nice light grey design. I think this is probably the best boot of the Encryption Pack overall in my opinion. But yeah, 23 in this list, I think I had to include this one. 22, now we are looking at one very unique football boot. Now what's special about this boot? It's a blackout design, blackout boots always work, but this has a leather upper. A leather upper instead of that prime knit upper you usually see on the Predator 19.1. All blackout design, a very special boot. I think this was released on Pro Direct. A leather Predator 19.1, I think you can't go wrong. The upper is very soft and supple on that forefoot there. I think this had to be in the list. A Predator 19.1 leather, it's what most pros probably prefer over the Prime Knit version as well. 21, we are talking about the Predator 19.1 Women's Edition. Now this probably isn't a colorway for everyone, but this colorway is this sort of coral and sort of pink design and a bit of white on those three stripes there. Overall, I think the colorway is actually quite nice. I think a lot of women would prefer this over some of the men's colorways. Was released in June 2019 for that Women's World Cup, and I think overall this had to be in the list. Not the greatest colorway, but I think it's still enough to make this list. Number 20, the Copa 7T, launched in January, and this celebrates the 70th anniversary of Adidas. Adidas started in 1949, and when the Copa was released, it was 1982. Now this boot here itself has a prime knit upper, a Copa 19 Plus sole plate, but the upper was actually quite stiff. It is at number 20, probably because the upper was actually quite stiff. Not the greatest boot in terms of performance, but overall a very nice sort of heritage solo to relate to the Copa Mundial released in 1982 and in 1949 when Adidas were born. Overall, I think this is a very sort of nice concept design, but in terms of performance, it's not the greatest. 19, now this potentially is one of the greatest collaborations of all time. Adidas teamed up with Marvel and they created this Nemeziz 19 Plus Spider-Man edition. Now this, again, sensational design and concept for this football boot. It's at number 19. Because of the color scheme, it's red and blue, not overall the best design, but in terms of the concept and the idea behind it, it's sensational. It has that sort of spider webbing on that red forefoot of the boot itself, has the Spider-Man eyes on the instep of the boot, overall a gold sole plate as well. A sensational football boot and probably the best collaboration we've ever seen from Adidas. The X19 Inner Game. Now this is one sensational football boot. It has a gold sole plate and gold on those three stripes. Navy blue on that upper and black on that sort of heel design. I think this is a sensational colorway. It's not often a color where we see gold and navy blue together, but I actually think it works for this design. In a game, I think Adidas did really well to spice things up with gold a bit. Yeah, so number 18 on this list is the X19 in a game. Number 17, the X506 Plus Tune It. Now this is a remake of the boot that originally came out in 2006 for the World Cup in Germany. It's a remake of the F50.6 Tune It. So released in 2006. I think this probably wasn't the greatest remake we've ever seen by Adidas. But again, I like the concept. It's got an X19 sole plate and that fold over tongue. Worn in 2006 by some stars. I'm not sure of the names that wore this, but again, this colorway probably wasn't that iconic as some of the other Adidas remakes, but again, it's got that synthetic upper. It looks pretty much exactly like the 2006 tune it released. Again, I think this remake probably was of the wrong boot, but again, still enough to make this list. Number 17. Number 16, we are hitting up the Glitch 19. Now this is the absolute skin. Now I have to say, this is a sensational skin on the Glitch. There was over 90 Glitch skins for this football boot, but I have to say this is probably one of the best ones we've seen. It's got gold on that sole plate with that chrome design, black on those 3 stripes, and gold on that forefoot, and white is the main color of this boot. But overall, this is inspired by that 2006 Predator Absolute, white and gold. I think this is a sensational football boot in terms of performance. Not the greatest. This boot weighs a ton. It's 300 grams. Probably why it's a bit high on this list, but again, this is probably one of the best Glitch skins I've ever seen. Number 15. Now Adidas love gold football boots. They did in 2019. They used a lot of gold on their football boots this year. And this is the import code Predator 19 Plus. Mostly gold with that chrome sole plate there, and blue. Blue is one of the strangest colors I've seen with gold, but I actually think it works for this design. Potentially could have been better with a black or even a gold out, but overall this blue design is actually quite unique. Adidas have sort of done a few different colors with gold this year, including the import code and the inner game as well, but I actually think it works. Probably not the most popular Predator 19 Plus that has been gold, but it's still enough to make this list. Number 14, wow, this is a stunning Predator 19 Plus. Now this doesn't use gold as the previous one did, this uses silver. I have to say, silver works really well on this Adidas Predator 19 Plus template. It's got a chrome silver sole plate, chrome silver upper, and black on the 3 stripes, and on the collar there with a bit of red on those stud tips. I'm absolutely in love with this colorway. I think this is a perfect design of 2 colors that work really, really well together. This is the 302 Redirect Pack launched in May 2019. Yeah, stunning boot worn by the likes of Pogba and co. Very, very good looking boot. As I just mentioned Pogba, this is his Season 6 Predator 19 Plus. Again, it's black, and it has a bit of a pink and purple trim to the sole plate, to the 3 stripes, and on that prime knit there as well. I think this is actually really, really nice, but I think we've seen black and that trim color of either gold or pink or a popping bright color too much on Pogba's season boots. I still love this design, and this boot was released upon his return from injury as well, so not the greatest timing with his release. Number 12, we are talking about one of the most stealth boots of 2019. This is the X19 Dark Script, a blackout pack from Adidas released in July this year. Mostly black on this boot, but I think Adidas speed boots look best in blackout. I think that for some reason speed boots for me look better when there's stealth colorways, as in a blackout edition. Pretty much a blackout design on the entire boot. A little bit of silver detailing on that sole plate there, but overall a stealth blackout boot for a speed boot from Adidas. You have to keep it in this list. Number 11 in this list is the Predator 19 Plus 25 years of Predator release. Now this is very similar to the import code we just saw. That was gold and blue, but this was gold and black. And as I mentioned in that, I said that gold always looks really, really good with black. A bit of red on this design as well. Just inspired by those previous 25 years of Predator icon boots as well. These are stunning boots. This is a stunning boot, and I think gold works really, really well with black. That's why it's number 11 on this list. Number 10, the last ever glitch skin was this. This is an absolute belter of a skin from Adidas. This is the 93rd glitch skin released by Adidas. 93 glitch skins, and I think the last one was probably the best one. It's got a lightning bolt design in purple on that sole plate there and on the 3 stripes. This is a sensational glitch skin. This should have been released 2 or 3 years earlier when the glitch was very, very popular. But yeah, the 93rd glitch skin, and potentially the best ever glitch skin. But number 10 on this list is a stunning boot. Number 9 is the X99.1 limited edition. Now this celebrates the 15th anniversary of the F50 in 2004. Similar to the 99 gram boots launched in 2015 and 2016, but the best thing is it doesn't weigh less than 100 grams. It's not 99 grams, it's more closer to 200 grams. So this makes it more durable, but the concept of this boot is it's very, very lightweight. The speed of light is printed on the insole to emphasize that speed and that lightweight boot. Overall, it's got perforations on that forefoot and lines on the side of the boot. A very lightweight boot, but it's going to be much more durable than those 99-gram boots. Number 9 on this list. Number 8, I think everyone has to love this boot. This is for Lionel Messi when he won his 6th Ballon d'Or. This was the boot he was wearing. This is the Chameleon Nemeziz 19.1, launched in December. It's not an official Ballon d'Or boot, but it is inspired by the original F50 Adidas 01 Chameleon design. Most of the boot is in that purple with that solar yellow on those Adidas 3 stripes, and on the stud tips a white sole plate. Yeah, in terms of the Nemeziz, it hasn't had a lot of great colorways, but I think this is probably the best colorway of the Nemeziz in 2019 in terms of standard releases. Worn by Leo Messi, you can't go wrong. Number 7, this is the Predator Mania 19 Plus, launched in December this year. Now this is a very, very special release. It has a plush K-leather upper with fusion skin tech from the Copa 19 Plus. The thing is, these elements are stickered on those Predator Mania 19 Plus. I think this boot would have been higher in this list if those Predator elements were stitched in between those zones rather than just stick it on like little stickers. I think, yeah, in terms of value for money, 300 quid for this as well. It's probably one of the most expensive boots you're going to get as well, and I think it's probably missed the boat in terms of being a proper remake. The Predator Mania 19 Plus is still enough to make the top 10 in this list. Number 6 is the Predator Mania 19.1 Remake. Now this is a very special boot as well. Very, very similar to the Predator Mania 19 Plus, but this one does have laces. It's probably better for performance in those black laces there. Black on the Adidas 3 stripes, mostly white boot on the collar and on the upper there. White and red on that sole plate. And yes, we see again that fusion skin with that very, very plush K-leather on that forefoot. Overall, a very, very nice and comfortable football boot. Those elements on that instep there as well are just stickered on. Again, I think this would have been high on the list. If they weren't stickered on, they should have been stitched together. But overall, I think it's still a very, very nice football boot. Number 5, we are debuting the Copa 19 Plus, and probably its best colorway of the year. This was released in late January, the exhibit pack. And yeah, this is a stunning, stunning boot. This is a black and yellow boot. Most of the exhibit pack was bright and bold with blue, red and yellow colors being seen. But this is a perfect colorway for the perfect leather football boot. A black forefoot, and it fades into that yellow on that collar there. Yellow on the border of the 3 stripes on the instep, and yellow on that sole plate there. Yeah, this is a stunning, stunning colorway for one of the most comfortable and high-tech Adidas football boots we've ever seen. Number 4, we are talking about David Beckham. Now, David Beckham had a signature remake released this year. Now, which was it? We see David Beckham on the heel with his design. We are talking about the Predator Precision Remake. Now, this boot was the boot that copied the original boot released in 2001. It uses the Predator sole plate of the 19 generation. But I have to say, the strike elements are very, very well done. They're stitched around the boot, as you can see in this picture there. They're stitched around those elements there with a very, very plush K-leather as well. Probably one of the best remakes we've seen from Adidas with that red fold over tongue. DB on the heel as well. A very, very nice white crisp colorway with silver on those Adidas 3 stripes. Predator Precision remade very, very well. Now, before I said that the Chameleon Nemeziz was the best Nemeziz design of the year, I was wrong. This is the Messi 15 years Nemeziz 19.1, released in October this year. It celebrates the 15th anniversary of Messi's debut in pro football. It's got an Argentina white and blue upper. As you can see, it's not just white, it's a sort of very, very subtle white and sky blue design on that upper there. Gold inspired by the trophy cabinet of Messi's career on the 3 stripes and on that sole plate there. The 5 dots, 4 is 5, now 6 Ballon d'Ors are featured as well. On the right sock liner, it features the exact date and time he made his debut. A very, very sort of special boot for Lionel Messi. White and gold always works. Nike use white and gold very, very well as well. But overall, this design on the Nemeziz is probably the best Nemeziz of the year. Number 2, wowee, this is the Gold 25 Years of Predator Accelerator Remake, launched in March this year. It's inspired by Zinedine Zidane original in 1998 when France did lift that World Cup. It uses the current Predator 19 sole plate, and the strike elements are very, very well done. Like on the Predator Precision we saw, those strike elements are stitched around that K-leather upper there as well. That is how you do a remake. We are talking about remakes that weren't done properly on those Predator elements of the Mania 19 Plus and the Mania 19.1. This is how you do it. You stitch around the boot. But yeah, this is actually quite a unique colorway. It's gold. We never saw a gold Predator Accelerator, launched in 98 or 1999. With that red fold over tongue and bit of black on that sole plate there. This has to be one of my favorite football boots of all time. Now, number one, I've said to many people that my favorite boot of all time was the Predator Mania Red and Silver Edition. And what have Adidas just done? They have remade the exact pair. Now, this was launched in December this year, inspired by the original Predator Mania released in 2002. More of an understated colorway, but this colorway is just classic. It has that fold over tongue, those rubber fin elements, that K-leather upper. Probably my favorite remake boot of all time, and potentially one of my favorite boots of all time in general. This is sensational, all red with a bit of silver. Every boot collector out there has to have this boot. That is why it's number one on this list. So that is my video on the top 25 Adidas boots of 2019. And please subscribe to my channel, it would help me very, very much. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.